How cool would it be if a futures prop firm let us swing trade our futures positions? That would be game changing a lot of the time, right? Especially right now, we've got all these crazy earnings going on. So what if I told you there was one? And I'll share who that is in just a minute, but first, let me kind of explain why most don't. And I'm going to use 𝗙𝗵𝗿 as an example because they have a great website for looking up these margin rates, and also they're my personal preferred platform. I also use 𝗙𝗵𝗿 Ninja, so shout out and use that link if you sign up with them. But anyway, I've gone ahead and pulled the margin for the ES and the NASDAQ. So these are the most commonly traded futures assets, at least in my trading group. So if we're going to take one of these, in the ES, we need $500 to control that position with these accounts. And on NASDAQ, we need 1,000. So we need that plus whatever drawdown we're going to deal with. And we're used to dealing with that when we're talking about our drawdown in our prop accounts. Maybe it's 2,500, something like that. We're dealing with these amounts. So a lot of the times we'll be dealing with the micros, the MES or the MNQ, which of course you just divide this by 10, okay? Now, if you're going to take that position at a traditional brokerage, like Interactive Brokers, for example, they're going to need you to have that initial margin when you take that position. And it's not $500 or $1,000, it's over $27,000 or $42,000. The cool thing about a specialized futures broker like NinjaTrader, shout out, that they're able to offer this special margin rate because they have special risk settings and they're going to liquidate you and give you a fee real quick if you ever get close to getting down to a zero balance. So that's why we're always closing these by the end of the day, because this is the rate that they have during the day. If you hold that over the CME settlement, which is an hour after the New York close right now, then you have to have this entire balance worth of leverage left in your account at the time of close. Otherwise, you're liquidated and you're out. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about how prop firms work, since they're using a lot of these data feeds, right? So the prop firm that is letting us finally swing trade our futures account is Fidius. And they're new to the US market. They're really kind of the best kept secret in prop firms right now. But the Fidius prop firm has a lot of great options. If you go with their fundamental, that's more of that traditional setup. They have an express to live, which lets you skip that step 2. So it's just a 2-phase evaluation. And then they have a 10K challenge. It's a fun contest where you can win a bunch of prizes. But what we're going to talk about is the premium account, because in this account, you can swing trade. And because these margin rates are, $500, $1,000, and we're not going to have a ton of available drawdown in these accounts, we're probably going to be using the micros. So it's not this, it's 1/10 of this, but that's still a heck of a lot, right? So what Fidius is letting us do is hold a position that we can't normally hold in a normal account, whether it's a prop firm or our own self-funded cash account, and letting us do it in these premium accounts. You can have up to 5 of them, plus 5 express to live, plus 5 fundamental, plus however many 10K challenges you want. So there's a lot of room there. And they of course offer all the popular sizes. They've got 50K, 100K, 150K. You can get it on 𝗙𝗵𝗿, Rhythmic, Deep Charts. The 100K Rhythmic I know has been really, really popular lately. And they even have 2 different kind of payment setups. So you can pay monthly and then pay an activation fee, which might be worth it if you don't know if you can pass. But if you are kind of an old hat at prop firms, you could do the one-time payment. And then this is going to include absolutely everything, including your activation fee. So that's all in. That's no monthly fee. You can carry this over however many months you want. And this will also cover your activation. So let's go over the rules really fast. Oh, and before we do, of course, you're not going to pay retail on this because I've got you with code BULLBARBIE. So save that one. Remember it. It's a good one. Anyway, that's so I have the $0 activation fee on there, but no matter what you do, the rules are going to be the same. So the drawdown is 2,500 with a profit target of 4,000 for the 50K, or you have 3,000 a drawdown with a $6,000 profit target on the 100K, Or with the 150, you can go for $4,500 of drawdown and a $9,000 profit target. You can probably see why that 100K is popular. You can pass in one day, which we love, so you don't have to have a minimum number of days or anything like that. They have end-of-day trailing drawdown, so none of that silly intraday trailing drawdown bullshit. We don't like that. The monthly subscription you can opt in or out of, and this is the one that lets you hold overnight or even over the weekend if you want to. And you are allowed to use bots, you are allowed to news trade. This is really a great, simple little account. So once you pass the evaluation, you get put into that sim funded stage. And when you get into that payout cycle, you do start out with a smaller profit split and it grows as you keep the account. So they're encouraging you to, not YOLO and to be able to keep this thing alive. So it starts at 75% and goes up to 80, 85, 90. And then on payment number 5, you're going to get 100%. Because what happens at 5 payouts is they're going to start reviewing you to see if you should be put on the real live cash funding. So it'll be that, or when you get $100,000 in payouts. And it's at their discretion, so it's not for sure at either of those, but that's when they're getting your attention. When you get to that 5th payout, they know you're good. So they do have the consistency rule with the funded accounts, but not with the eval. So good to go in the eval. They keep it really simple, but for the reasons I just told you, they're trying to show someone who actually has trading talent to get through these. And that's one way to do it, is to have a consistency that basically they're not going to penalize you where you don't get to keep that or anything. It's just you have to earn a little bit more in order to qualify for your payouts. But you still have the end-of-day trailing drawdown. So at the end of every session, that updates, which you will want to think about when you're in your swing trading positions. That's what I'm saying. It's probably for micros when we're swing trading, unless you really know, okay? And then these do have a reset option, even when you're in the live phase. So that's kind of cool. A really great little account. And one of the things that I really wanted to show you is how this account is actually a better deal for swing trading. If you're going to swing trade micros and you want to be able to take some risk and things like that, than having your own self-funded account. And now that they have it on 𝗙𝗵𝗿, I can use it with my NinjaTrader tools and all kinds of other stuff. And then if you love deep charts or Rhythmic or any of the apps that those can connect to, you're good to go. So don't forget, use code BULLBARBIE. Go visit their channel too. I'm streaming for them, which is a ton of fun. And I can't wait to see you there. All right, enjoy these. Love you. Bye.
I'm staying a while. How long you gonna hold it? Long enough to make the overnight session nervous. How long you gonna hold it? Long enough to make the overnight session nervous. Da 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 da.